Research, I haven't addressed the research, but as a NIH-funded researcher, that's tremendously important. And I think if we think about what the Latino physicians of California can do, is writing up the proceedings like you're doing this time, by having other symposiums that are focused on research, whether it's patient care, whether it's patient outcomes, whether it's academic medical centers, and writing those up and prioritizing them, and maybe having them in Sacramento, sort of like some of the things we've done in the past. But I think maybe having some that are focused on how Kaiser's going to impact and maybe disrupt medical education, and hopefully, put to shame the other medical schools because they're not moving fast enough.
Yeah, just so you know, UC Davis has a 3-year medical school program, and we're very successful in outcomes. So that's another program to look at.
Excuse me, I'm not familiar with the Kaiser system that we're talking. I mean, I know about Kaiser, but what is the innovative program that they're doing? And I'm sorry to not know.
Medical school.
Come in right here.
I'm with Kaiser. I wanted to speak to the Kaiser issue, the medical school that's supposed to be starting in 2019, which is part of what this innovation we're talking about. But I wanted to speak to what Dr. Magaña said earlier about how it's easy to celebrate within Kaiser. I mean, I think there's a lot of celebration, perhaps, of diversity, and the value part is where there's a struggle. So I'm, partly I was really excited to come here today also because, even this last week, me and some of my colleagues, most of us Latinos in Kaiser that don't really sit in positions of power, I mean, for various reasons, that I think that it's when Kaiser sits in a position where everybody's referring to this innovation, and we're sitting in this position where other people are looking at our system and how they can mirror us, but really, and so I think it's easy then in that system. There's been different people throughout the leadership that have done wonderful things, but it's easy to become very arrogant and lose your humility about where you sit and what you really have to do to make a difference. So I think we're really looking within Kaiser because we need help. I think that sometimes it's more difficult in a large institution. We talk about institutions. I see Kaiser as a big institution to advocate for change. It's I think easier from without. It's going to be. I think Kaiser would be more responsive if we hear like a political push from without to really to listen to what what our thoughts are about what the vision is. I mean, it's easy to have the vision and mission, but then really the implementation is another story. So we really need your help from without to help us to really make this the type of innovative process that we really want it to be. So I think we need some partnerships, and that would be, and my next question is how we can do that, how we can make partnerships from without politically, to really create this movement to help to bring Kaiser to the table. And so we reached out to my colleagues, to the leadership, and said, you really need to listen to us. On the committee for curriculum, there's one Latino, and it's difficult to have your voice heard when there's just one, and we're not really the ones in powerful positions. So.
Can we comment on that? How we're going to partner maybe with LPOC, larger institutions, make the change, and then we'll.
I mean, I think that's a really good, and, Connie, you're, Casillas, you're part of our board in LPOC. I would say that what I really enjoyed about being part of LPOC is that there's a great direction in terms of vision, and our board is just fed up. I mean, we really are about solutions, and we're looking for people. I mean, using this symposium as an opportunity to just get together and catch up. I mean, again, I know these things have been happening and they keep happening, and now not only do we have us as leaders, but we have the next generation of leaders. If you guys can stand up if you're a part of Mi Mentor, please. But, you know, the solutions are really, you know, when we started Mi Mentor and talking about mentoring and how we were going to be, they wanted it to be less intimidating, and yes, we become intimidating somehow. And so we took these ideas and said, well, what you're talking about is, as millennials, you're trying to communicate with us via text and an app, and so why don't we do that? And again, it takes that kind of level of commitment to have these symposiums and opportunities, because we really don't have these venues in our own institutions, and I'll tell you, even the most progressive, there still needs to be more. So not necessarily an answer to your question, but I think, again, the beginning, and the title of this is creating a movement, and so the movement is beginning, and it's us, so.
Great.
So I do want to respond a little bit before we kind of move on, but you know, it really is a vision of LPOC. I think as I think Brian had mentioned it, it is about reaching out. And like I said before, we're not the solution. We're part of the solution, and we just need to get the other, you know, the other pieces of the solution, which includes not just the Latinos, but African American, our other ethnic communities, and you know, we have reached out beyond that so that, again, we continue to find those right organizations, and we sort of put those names out there. That includes the California Healthcare Foundation, includes the CMA that we partnered for this survey, OSHPED we partnered for this survey, Dignity Health that we partnered with this survey, but not just those organizations, but others that really understand and or willing to understand, because sometimes we have to bring the message and we have to bring, you know, the data and the information. Carmela Castellanes, is she here yet? You know, Carmela is another key piece of this because she leads an organization that's huge. When we talked about 1/3 of the California population is now on Medi-Cal, guess who's serving a lot of those Medi-Cal patients? Those are community clinics. And Carmela runs, is it 1,200? How many? 1,200 community clinic organizations across the state. They're taking a majority of that population and providing healthcare to them. They are a huge potential partner. They're our partner. But they are a huge set of organizations that we need to reach out to and understand how we can support them. And again, the medical schools continue to be our partners. We just need to educate them and find the right individuals. And we're very excited about Kaiser and some of the other healthcare systems like Sutter and like, again, like we mentioned, Dignity, again, being part of the partnership and the solution to this. So it really is all of us who want to kind of learn, understand, and find out what pieces of this can we support. But it needs some level of push, as I think you mentioned, and I think as Hector has made a great story for of us reaching out to them, knocking on their door, even if the door's closed, but continuing to knock until they open it. So I want to first of all thank Lisa for a great job. Thank our panel. We're going to continue this till 12:45. There's the exhibits, and there's a presentation there by New York Life, which I think is going to be very important, because one of the key issues that you're going to be hearing a lot about is we as physicians and other healthcare providers are under significant pressures on a daily basis. And it's about, well, what about the work-life balance that I don't know anything about? I'm one of the worst examples of work-life balance you can ever have. I sort of ran into a person the other day and coming out of my house, and I realized it's my older daughter who I hadn't seen in a few months. But that's a terrible example, and so we want to sort of talk about what are the best examples of really carrying a work-life balance and understanding some of the business issues, whether you're in a small solo practice and you have to identify how you plan for the future, so to speak, or whether you're in a very large integrated medical system, you still need to address these issues for yourself. And so we're going to have a gentleman who is an expert who New York Life has agreed to, who is going to be presenting this topic, as well as having a discussion with you. And there's OSHPED is here, and then Kaplan again will be available for having a discussion. So I'd like to see if we can move us along to that next level, and then the lunch is coming. Is it here yet?
No.
Not yet? Okay, sorry about that, but we want to make you hungry so you can really eat it.
Say wait.
I just wanted to make sure that, you know, that once that lunch comes, it will be served back in that little room. So we will come in and do an announcement. Equinox is also next door going to be doing some massages. We wanted to make sure that part of what we, no, you don't have to disrobe. We wanted to make sure that this break for lunch, you talk to each other. If you have an opportunity, if you're not doing, you know, the presentation, you can come and sit in here if you want and you know, get to talk to your friends. Or you can sit in the room next door if you want. So we just wanted to make sure that you felt that there's a break and you can just kind of relax and get to see each other and talk to each other, because I know in all these sessions, they go so fast and back to back, you don't get to do that. So if you want to take a break and then go next door, you can, or you can stay in here